This is 451, and this is Wembley.
Oh, you're excited to be here.
It's nice to be here, man.
It's
nice
especially on a beautiful day like today.
Yeah.
And it's particularly nice to be in the Royal Box, which is where we currently are. But which team from the Championship will be lifting the playoff final trophy in the Royal Box? Is it going to be Hull? Is it going to be Watford? Because those two are going for the last automatic promotion spot. Hull are in the driving seat. They're 4 points in front of Watford with 2 games left. They play Barnsley at home on Saturday. I fancy them to win that and go up.
Yeah, I think Hull will go up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Watford go up because I really do admire Gianfranco Zola.
Oh, yeah.
Immensely. And I'd like to see them come up. Don't know how it's going to work out in respects of the amount of players that he's got on loan and what happens in respects of, is he going to sign a few of them? What's going to happen? I don't know.
Well, I think with Zola, he's done a great job, of course, with Watford, with all those loanees. What the Pozzos tend to do, that's the family that own Granada, Udinese and Watford, is they tend to loan the players for kind of a low-risk strategy. And then if it works, like it may well do with Watford, they then buy the players.
Well, if that's the case...
I mean, Vidra would want to play in the Premier League. He wouldn't want to go.
Of course. And if it does work, then it just depends then on how good they are, if they're good enough to get to the Premiership level and do well.
Yeah, I mean, but if it was Hull or Watford, who do you think would stay in the league? Who do you think would have the best chance of survival?
Well, I don't know, the Pozzos. If the Pozzos have got money to not only maybe sign a few of the really good players that they've loaned to Watford, but to bring other players in as well, then you'd have to say that they'll have a very, very good chance, because Hull, you're not sure what kind of finances they're going to have in respects of attracting players to Hull. And Watford,
the new camp of the North, right?
Exactly. Well, the thing with Hull is to go to Hull. It's Watford might be a better.
Well,
not
close
far
to
from
London,
and everything like that. So they might have a better chance of attracting players. So we'll have to see how that one pans out, to be honest.
Right, Steve Bruce v Zola.
I'm going with Zola.
Do you go with Zola? I think Bruce is going to clinch it. If you have an opinion on that, then do comment below or tweet us at @ball_street. Right, let's go and sit in the stands. We're in the stands of Wembley. Mr. Ian Wright, you've been here as a Palace player. Will the Palace fans be here come the playoff final?
I hope so. The way their form has been, they've been a little bit in and out. I don't know if it's...
dropping off a little bit?
Yeah, a bit jittery.
At the wrong time?
Well, that's what happens when you get to the pressure end of the season. You know what I mean? They've got the right manager to maybe kick them on. But
Ian Holloway?
You know, it's just, that's what happens. Pressure comes in, but... I remember 1990 when Palace fans were here, they really did make it red and blue. It was a wonderful time.
Which end did you score at?
Both.
Oh, of course. I stand corrected. Just to be sure.
Well,
you show off.
You didn't have to. I didn't tell him to ask me that. But like, it's one of those where Palace fans can make this place rock. But I don't know, Marcus. In the way it's gone, they need to arrest their slide. You know what I mean? Like the top man, Glenn Murray, I don't think he's scored for 6 or 7 games.
2 goals in 10 games.
See, this is what you need.
When he couldn't stop scoring before
Exactly. And so what happens is that you need him to kick back in. You need the confidence to get back into the team. I don't know what's happened to them.
I mean, they've got Blackburn away, which is a big game. Blackburn obviously fighting relegation. Millwall away, and then Peterborough at home. 2 away games. Their away form's not great. 1 win in the last 12.
Exactly. So you look at it and you think to yourself, if you're going to go on form, then you wouldn't fancy them. Millwall seem to be okay in respects, especially at the New Den. They're always going to be a problem. Is it at the New Den?
I don't know. There's the fans. Yeah, it is. It's away at Millwall. Yeah.
Well, to be honest, it's one of those, Marcus, where it's a hard game. It's a London derby, and they need to win it. And it's going to be they're under pressure to win that. And I'm hoping that something can happen soon, because they're going to need to win a couple of those games at least. I think.
Well, we've got a couple of tweets here. At Stuart Twitter says, we have 8 players, a Palace fan, we have 8 players that have played 37 games this season. 8 players that have played 37 games this season. I think they're chanting for you, right? And that's more than any other team. And he's saying that Palace do not have enough quality in depth.
You've got Premiership teams who ain't got quality in depth. What's got to happen is that you've got to, at this stage of the season, recognise that you've got an opportunity to do something pretty special. And, the Premiership is something that you want to be at. And, you just got to find that extra bit of something, Yes, you might have had to play a lot of games in a season, 37 games, but top players have to play a lot more than that, double that.
Well, there's also a confidence issue, perhaps. I mean, at Nodwello says that there's a lack of morale, lack of confidence.
Exactly.
It seems that they're down on the scoreboard, but they're down mentally.
Well, it can get to you.
Yeah, indeed.
It can get to you.
Well, we shall see if Palace can get here or not. Now, Righty, do you fancy checking out one of the Wembley boxes?
Yeah. Let's check out a little box.
Let's do that now then.
Okay, here we are in one of the boxes. Perfect place to reflect on your Wembley memories. Marcus, what you got?
We have one from Joe B. Townsend who says, Charlton v Sunderland playoff final, 1998 penalties, Clive Mendonca hat-trick. Great game.
I remember that.
Marvellous scenes.
Yeah. This one is at Jack Alton 96. He says, Derby won. That's okay, mate. Derby won, West Brom 0. First championship playoff of the new Wembley. Led us to being the worst Premier team in history. So,
Premier League.
So it's New Wembley's fault then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
At Nathan, J-Rog says, Wade Elliott's 13th minute strike in the playoff finals in 2009 when Burnley got promoted to the Premier League.
Yes, great times, great times. Okay.
Can I chip in with the Wembley memory?
Go on then. Yeah.
First time I came here was to see England versus the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Who was up front for England that day? Dion Dublin and Ian Wright.
Yeah.
Lovely scenes.
I think I set up a couple. I think Merce
You did?
and Darren Anderton
That's
scored.
correct.
I set them both up.
Marvellous.
Because that's what I do. I tell you what though, you know. Send us more. We always want some more, but let's get close to the pitch.
Yeah, good idea.
I want to go to the pitch.
Here we are, pitch side at Wembley Stadium, and we're going to be talking Derby County.
I got to say, you never really understand how noisy it gets in an empty stadium.
Noisier than when the fans are here.
A lot. Well, to be honest, you expect the noise, but when you're in here, like trying to do what we're doing, someone wants to drill.
Damn those drills.
You know what I mean?
Nigel Clough.
Yes.
Nigel Clough. He's the second longest serving manager in the Championship. And he was only appointed in 2009, which is not a very...
in the current climate, though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the current climate, a manager can lose his job in days.
3 months, yeah.
You know, well, Leroy Senior.
Well, exactly.
From toilet to the bathroom.
Oh, poor old Leroy.
You know, so,
but Nigel Clough has managed to hold down his position at Derby County. But there are slight concerns. They seem to be kind of a mid-table side. Are they kicking on? Are they not? I mean, they're not going down, certainly.
Right.
I mean, there are some young players coming in that you're quite excited about.
Well, to be honest, when I look at Derby, maybe, you know, I mean, you know, when you think of what's happening with certain clubs, and they're not a bad club, you know, in respect of size.
They're a huge
and
club,
stature.
Derby, yeah.
And you see what's happening with some clubs financially. Maybe Derby are trying to cut their cloth accordingly. They're bringing through youth and that, and they're trying to concentrate on that.
Yeah.
And maybe Nigel Clough is not under pressure.
Yeah.
Because that is what his job is.
He's got time.
Exactly, they're giving him time. And the thing what really makes me laugh about it is the fact that he's in there, and yes, they're in the mid-table, and they most probably end up with the same points. But people are asking, well, why is he still there? He should be sacked by now because it's just the thing to just sack people.
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm quite pleased at Derby. Whatever they're doing, it seems like they're sticking by the manager. And like you say, there's some young players that are coming through, which seem very, very promising.
Yeah, compare them to local rivals Forest, who have had 6 appointments in all that time.
And still in the same league. It's not like they've done anything where they've kicked on more than Derby. They're still in the same league.
Yeah.
So
we're giving Derby County a bit of credit there.
I am giving Derby County a bit of credit, and I'm giving their board credit for sticking with somebody, not just because, but you know, at the end of the day, he's doing something. He's producing young players. Keep it going, Nige.
Yeah, we like that. Well done, Derby.
Love you, Nige.
Yeah, if you are a Derby fan, then do tweet us or comment below. To the changing rooms?
Will they let us in?
Well, with that famous face, no doubt.
It's true. What was I saying? What was I thinking? We made it.
We did indeed. We're in the changing room, and it's lovely to be here. But we're talking Birmingham City. We're talking Lee Clark. Lee Clark, he's had a lot on his hands, a lot on his plate since taking over at Birmingham. Come the summer, they're having a big old clear out. You know, 19 players out of contract at the end of the season. How difficult is it for a club to rebuild pretty much from scratch?
Well, and I don't think Birmingham have got any money.
No.
It's literally...
and 6 players are going out on loan. I think they've got a squad of 33, so they will struggle for a starting 11 at the moment.
Well...
Get yourself down there, right?
It's one of those where, you know, this is why, being a manager, and if he does anything, any kind of success at Birmingham, keeping them up and getting his players together, good coaching, get them to a situation where they're playing together, which is going to be hard because, like you say, I think like how many free transfers?
Yeah, they had what was it? 31 free transfers.
So it's not like the players that people are sought after and that they're frees. So it's going to depend on the attitude of them, depending on a lot of coaching. If you ain't going to get no money to build the team as well. You know what? It's one of those where he's got a ready-made excuse. The players have got ready-made excuse. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just really hard. I can't see the light there.
True. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned because Lee Clark obviously was fantastic at Huddersfield.
Yeah.
You know, broke records and
run.
it was superb. And you think there's an English manager showing a bit of promise, and he's given this tough a job, a good job, Birmingham City, big club. And you think, if this goes badly, will it taint him a little bit? Do you know what I mean? And that might be unfair. It might be very unfair.
What could work in his favour, Marcus, is the fact that he's got such an uphill task ahead of him, being a young manager.
And that's what I'm saying. I hope he doesn't get judged too harshly.
Well, the thing is, it's up to him now to show his coaching ability, because if he can get those players together, which are free, with their odds and sods, you know what I mean? He don't know what he's going to get, and then he can get them together. People will look at that and see that he's a good coach. Now, if he had the monies behind him, really good coaching staff and everything, he could go wherever he wants to go, because if he can get that team to work, then he can get a better team to work.
Well, to finish with a tweet here from @Denning52 says, definitely more optimistic for next season after Birmingham's recent form. If Clark makes some decent signings, we can push on.
How's he going to do that?
A big if there. Yeah,
you know, that is very optimistic. I don't know how you're being optimistic. The fact is, where is he going to get the money from?
Yeah.
You know, where's he going to get the money from to make these signings? And why would somebody maybe want to say, I'm going to go to Birmingham?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of ifs and buts about that, man.
Yeah, well, good luck to Lee Clark. And that is the end of the championship for this week. If you've enjoyed it, then let us know or tweet us @ball_street.